understand it. I just kind of thought that
you're talking about
they can come out in any form.
They should have shame. How will you have shame?
They can come out in any form that they want to open a live stream, but
look. Okay, I'm not going to talk anymore. Nobody
on what they want to say.
Hold on. I've been prompted. Now take the likes to 20K. Otherwise, I'm going to shut down. I think we've been quiet now. We've been lazy. I want the like to go to 20K, please, everybody. I beg. Because they're beginning to tell me to tell them which two numbers are the same. Like I'm blind. But because you guys have not been tapping, they thought we are idle. They want to shut the platform down. And you know, when people say we are flagging, they're not flagging you. It's just that we've been idle. We've not been tapping. Tap and share. Come on. 10 people, 100 people. Doesn't matter who joins. For me, let's just keep it alive. Let's enjoy ourselves as much as we can before I drop off. But please, let's take it to 20K before we carry on. I beg. Make una not let my time go to waste, because I love to engage properly and then take it to the end. The gifters, if you can give the gift to, if you give me elephant, if you give me malu, if you give me goat meat, if you give me snake,
I'll be loading a lion for you next time. Listen, actually, I'm getting a bit tired. I want to quickly pop into Paparino briefly to wish you.
Okay, so I also want to wrap up as well, right? Because we are getting up to that point. It's getting close to that point. Anyway, Aristocrat, let's have you.
No. Aristocrat spoke like. Do you not since my 2 minutes opening?
Okay, carry on. Okay, carry on.
So back to what we were discussing before the rude and polite distractions. We were talking about the way forward. And then Jack did this thing and he
Your Emperor Escapade is speaking now, so tap. Your Emperor, what is that guy we say? Emperor and waiting soldiers and gladiators. Who's the gladiator? Let's just carry on tapping anyway.
Jack did this thing and he said he doesn't know of the way forward or whatever. There is a way forward.
Okay.
And the way is there, he's right there, staring us in the face. See, one thing we have to realize is that you do not move from one place to destination by staying in the same place. If you stay in the same place, what you would have is movement, but you are never going to get motion. So say, for instance, you are going from Lagos to Ibadan and you stay at the Lagos toll gate. You can stay there for 100 days. You can jump, run, dance on that same spot. You'll be getting movement. People will be saying you moving, but you are not getting motion. So when people still come, we're talking about the way forward, and they still come and tell us about Baba said this, this person said that, police did this, police didn't do that. That is still staying in 2023. This is 2025. A lot has happened since then. Evidences have been given. People have spoken. We've seen even the Shitu said at one point, this has been established. He got injured, he was treated, he reacted, blah, blah, blah. Every time, you have to establish facts as you go along, you know. But the thing, what I find is that people do not want this thing to end because it is not, the end of it is not looking like what they want. They keep saying we want justice, what is the justice that you want?
Can I interject you, please?
No, please, let me finish. Are you going to be long or is it quick?
No. I just want to make a correction of something because you did it before I slept.
Yeah, can you
and now you are repeating the same thing.
Quickly,
yes, sir.
Quickly, please.
Thank you. You always say people. No, you have to use some people. Use some, not everybody. That column. Don't put everybody in one column. Some people want it to finish when some people do not want it to finish.
If I say people, I'm talking generally. I don't need to say some. If I say people and you believe that I'm talking about the whatever billion people in the world, then you are not getting what I'm saying. When I say people, you should
You have
understand
to
what I'm saying.
explain. Ẹ máa ṣàlàyé ni, ẹ má bínú.
So that's what I'm saying. So people do not want this thing to end because of the way it is going. You get everything is pointing to the fact.
Hold on,
everything.
Hold on. I need to interject you. I love the idea of you saying people don't want this thing to end. You need to make that clear. And then
That's where I'm going.
Okay, I like that kind of.
Okay, because if it ends, some people will lose relevance. Some people would have nothing else to do because as it is at the moment, this is what is keeping some people going. I'll give you an example. They say that if you leave grains in the garden, rats will fester. Because some people are still stuck in that 2023 is why you would have people like you or me coming to give you this, keeping you there and making this thing drag for long, giving you things to talk about because people love. They like the optics. They want to see somebody like he did going to Mohbad's house doing this. He's saying that it's CCTV when he has not actually moved. Again, it's all movement but no motion. Yomi are not taking this case from where he was before he came to anyway because he's not been successful in all that he's provided. But because he's giving that optics, he's giving people things to see that suits the narrative that they are pushing, they're happy to engage in that and keep the conversation going. It is established because I don't understand why somebody will say I called a nurse. If Mohbad told me the hand was swollen, I invited a nurse. I couldn't get to the nurse. The nurse came the next day, injected him, blah, blah, blah. Same with what Wunmi said, same with what Adra said. The nurse actually came and said the same thing. And you will still get people saying, oh, they have still not told us what happened in the house. Yes, Wunmi should know what happened in the house. Adra should know what happened in the house. And they have told you what happened. But because you don't want to believe it, you still keep going back to that point where you still want it to conversation to keep going, and we're talking about Baba saw blood, Baba didn't saw blood. We've passed all that stage. If we look at all the evidences before us, we can see that this is what happened. And Jack is gone now. He keeps talking about homicide. He was spied. At what evidence do you have to say the guy was spied? There's not one single one. What we have been able to establish so far, he got injured, he got swollen, somebody was called, the person injected, he reacted. The nurse said exactly the same thing, but you still get people saying the nurse does not exist. Because why? It is not going where they want. They still tell you, women have not told us what happened. The 15 people in the house have not told us what happened. They've told you. It's you not believing what they have told you. And because you are not left that door of them maybe being right, you're not left it open. You've shut that door completely. You want to believe they are wrong. It's two things. Somebody can be wrong or right. But when all the people in the house are saying similar things, and you that is not there, you're coming up with narrative. Like what Aduke came today say, Baba said that she said, oh, Mohbad has been complaining about the paternity of that child. And then she's talking about Baba saying that Wunmi was sleeping around. That was in the Malian's house. That was before they even got married. If she was sleeping around and doing all those stuff, would Baba still allow his son to marry her? Let's be logical here. Sometimes the conversation just go to like level 3, like we're level 3 students. Let's move up a little bit and start reasoning and be critical. All of those things, even if it was true, was before they got married. But Baba still wore filler, was dancing at the whatever, the wedding and the naming. He was there. So all of those ones have been nullified. You can't say you know that my why would you want a placenta?
Just to chip in. Have you heard the latest family member giving the narrative of what actually happened on the christening?
Which family? Like what?
Just 2 days ago.
Who is the person and what did they say?
The family member who happens to be a close relative of Joseph Aloba, and he kind of described the hastiness taken during the christening of Liam, that they were rushed out and put into one hotel and blah blah other story. Like,
Christening
anyway,
of Liam.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's
So
just let it. It's
But
just let it.
Richie, that's not new. Now.
that's not new now. That's
That's
not
not
that
new.
man that said
We knew that. We knew that since the
yeah,
inception.
it's been so.
Yeah, that's not new.
All of these things are just irrelevant to what exactly happened.
Okay.
The man that everybody
Okay,
is
that's fine.
saying, yeah, I get what you're
I just
saying.
listened to it. So
No, it's been long. The man said this, I think it was since last year. This man is fighting over the placenta of that same boy. The same boy that everybody seems to is now coming to make it look like, oh, I don't believe in that. The boy is Mohbad's son. So we need to accept that, okay, these are the facts. People will come and say, oh, we are fighting for the so that Nigeria will be better. They call themselves activists. If you go to the National Human Rights Commission dashboard, the report for 2024 said there were over 2 million complaints of human rights. Why is it only Mohbad's one that everybody is focused on? You want to repair Nigeria. Why are you only on Mohbad? Because you are getting money there. Every day there are human rights issues. If you want to show you, your that his thing for 6 years was inactive, suddenly jumped on Mohbad case and is stuck on there and he'll be saying, I'm an activist, I'm a this, I'm a that. If you're an activist, go. There's so many cases. You can't just stay on Mohbad and then be deceiving people and be claiming you want to repair Nigeria, you want to repair this, you want to repair that. It's unfair. Let's leave the door open. As public, we should be open-minded. You are not supposed to take side. You can't say you are public, and you are looking to nail one person. You can't do that. You have to be open-minded. And if you don't have one single evidence to say, oh, this is the person that is likely to have done it. Evidence, so not narrative or people thinking, imagining stuff, conjectures and all of those things. You would accept that, oh, maybe this girl doesn't know about the death and move on. That is the way forward. Let's not stick to 2023 and still be imagining they saw blood, they didn't see blood. Police didn't do this. Police said profusely. Police didn't say profusely. All of that is irrelevant. Look at the facts before you now, the things that people have said that looks close to the truth. The man that everybody is the man that sorry.
Tap. Just keep tapping.
Your definition of
okay. Let's put it.
anyway.
See, the thing is, Richie.
Can you guys hear me? Okay, let's carry on tapping. It's time to kind of wrap up. Everybody said their piece, which has been needful, useful, engaging, and all that kind of stuff. I hear you escapade about the way forwards, and I can see exactly what you're trying to assert, and I think it makes sense. But how do you sell it? How do we sell it to the general public? I think that we're going to have to need another incarnate who we're not sure is going to come in front of in terms of the saint or the devil or the money grabber. Whichever way, but we're going to need a reincarnation of someone similar to Yomi Fabi, the way he came in, how kind of like warm and pleasant it was. He was a criminal that came at night, and then in the day now, it's now a devil. He stole your money, he ran away with it. Oshekini olule gba. Oshekiji olule. Semajeko sheketa.
Let me just have 1 minute to round up.
All right, carry on.
Yeah. So again, I know Richie is talking about truth, or if you are going to contest the truth, you have to come with facts. No, not like you are thinking or people are imagining stuff. And then on the issue of Yomi, many Yomis will still continue to come if we are still stuck in where we are. Because Yomi will telling you that, oh, he hit his head on the whatever. He still said it today, or was it yesterday? Maybe the father and the mother, they didn't tell them that they hit his head on the blah, blah, blah. But Gurexi himself went to see the body. He saw no other injury. Baba's lawyer, Odumosu, said there was no other injury on the body. Pathologists are saying there's no injury on the body. Nurse said she didn't see any other injury. The hospital they took it to did not see any other injury. So why do we still keep believing this man and still, hey, we are going to get justice for him? When we have people like Richie, you seem to be knowledgeable and intelligent and exposed, and you are still stuck in that area. Why would people that are not even as
Why
intelligent not
would
be
you want
there?
to insult me now?
No, I'm
You have
saying
you have your
I'm
own
not
opinion,
insulting
right?
you. I'm not insulting you because I'm saying
So no.
no.
Listen, escapade.
No. Okay, let me finish. You speak. I didn't
Listen,
interject you. Let me
what?
finish.
No,
I've been allowing you.
your
Let me
phrase and your
finish.
choice of words.
Let
Careful.
me finish.
Right.
Okay. When we have sorry for using your whole word. Sorry for using your name.
Escapade.
Yeah.
Please be gentle. Please be gentle.
I'm gentle. I think he's just taking it too far. But now, not use his name.
Richie,
No,
Let me carry on. Let me.
Richie,
That's what I'm saying. You need to calm down, Richie.
Don't be too touchy. Don't be too touchy.
When you say yours, nobody makes noise.
No. Escapade. Let's be gentle. But Richie, please don't be too touchy. All right, carry on.
So when we have people who are people who are educated and intelligent and are still getting stuck in that,
and we all are.
Exactly.
Let's just be gentle. Let's just be gentle.
Yeah, and that's why people like Yomi will still keep coming, and the guy, the Damola that stole the whatever to that emailed, thanks for the gift, the Damola guy that sent the message to Yomi saying that he has a video. It's because people are still in that, they're still stuck there. So they're feeding them things that will make them stay there and would make the conversation keep going and going and going and going. But the facts are there. The coroner will come up with their report. I don't see how the coroner would say Wunmi did it from what we have heard, from the CTCs we have seen. And anyone that is saying that she probably did it, you'll be hearing, oh, she sleeps around, oh, she doesn't know how to cook. Is that the evidence you want to use against her? And some will say, oh, she needs to come and tell us. She's told you, but what you want her to tell you is that she did it. You want somebody that you are alleging of a crime to tell you that they did it. You should be the one to show them that they did it. And you haven't got any.
Escapade. Let's hear from Kilatungbo. Kilatungbo, let's have you. As we're wrapping up, I want to make sure anyone that comes or everyone that's there. Kilatungbo, are you there? Or should I drop you? I think I should, because you can't just come up and not speak. Now what I'm going to do, I need one more person to come up. We are wrapping up now. Whilst that person is thinking who is going to request first, Aristocrat, wrap up for me, please. Aristocrat, the wise one, are you there?
What do you want me to wrap up? I'm enjoying you people.
Why did you come back? You can't come.
I had me.
Go on, wrap up.
So.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Le sori àwíjàre kí tọ́tán lẹ́nu.
Okay.
We've been saying some among us have been consistent in their analysis, advocacies, in what they believe in. And I think it's right for everybody to stay true to their conviction. If at the heat of everything, heat of you saying anything and some gangs of thieves, we always come out to cause children that they've not seen before, write letters to people's offices, look for people's names, check them out, asking after their progenitors, where the history of their family starts from, and go about just to be making fool of themselves. When everything was hot, some people stayed true to the path they are convinced about. And I think at the twilight of this whole thing, people should continue to stay true to themselves. Only God knows what transpired where you are not. We will only listen to stories that people will come out and share. And Yoruba will say, ìròyìn ilẹ̀ òkèrè tí ò bá lékan á dínkàn. That means tales from other cities. If you don't minus, they will plus. It depends on where anybody is seeing it from. People should just do whatever they do with the conviction that posterity will judge everyone. And we are alive today. Some people were there yesterday. Many of them are not there today. We are alive today, we do our part. And also, people should not turn themselves to adjudicators who judge people, dictate what other people will say, tell them where they will say or what they will not. When you put vegetable in a plate to eat eba, if he's about to finish, you add another one. The one that was there before will not say, I'm your senior. You join together and do what you have to do. But most importantly is, I always take from what everyone has said. Today, everyone is talking about Mohbad's case. As at when Mohbad died, there have been hundreds of cases, even in Lagos State, which I can state or itemize or list out of young people who have died mysteriously in questionable circumstances, even the ones that were kept in detention that were killed. It is an ongoing thing because it is life. And what is life if these things don't happen? It's going to be boring for the active people. I think larger percentage of we folks on TikTok should also vie out to see some cases. If anybody wants to get involved in cases like this, I have good list of plenty of them that I can always point people to. We can take our knowledge from justice for Mohbad, our experiences of what we should have done in situations as such as this, our analysis for those who have critical mind to, not Gobiro, to see what we can do if we find ourselves in situations like this, and to see when things like this happen that we can do to avert it, and also to be in, you know,
Mustazine. It's like they've all submitted their destinies to the government, to them.
African Television was there, Supreme Iron Lady was there, Susie for Justice was there, and various other personalities, and everybody with good intentions. Thank you, Comrade Moses. Good afternoon to you and welcome to this beautiful platform. Your input obviously is one I've been looking forward to for a lot of times, but I'm glad you're here. So Jack, as I was saying, so we ended up, and the moment you get a divide, that divided the people, where, the people kind of supporting women, people trying to suppress. Thank you, Moses. The widows, victimization, and all that kind of stuff. And I don't want to point fingers and I don't want to label anyone, but it is within the family itself that the old divide actually happened, and the public decided to take sides. At some point, for a period of time, Wunmi and Mama Mohbad were in the same camp. We knew that was not going to last and all that kind of stuff, but it took the course. And that is, I still don't believe I know we are that divided. But carry on, Jack. I just can't believe we are still in that space at this point.
Yes, the IT guy. Good evening, sir.
Okay, Jack. Allow. Okay, Comrade Moses. Yeah, welcome.
I just want to ask Jack a question, Mr.
All right.
Jack.
Okay, engage with Jack. Jack, unmute yourself and engage with Comrade Moses, please.
Yeah, Comrade.
Yeah, Mr. Jack.
Yeah,
good evening.
Good evening.
And greetings to the people in the panel and the comment section. I have a little disagreement with part of your submission, and I also have a question. My disagreement is that we didn't find ourselves in the situation where we are today as a result of the failure of the public, in the sense that you said that we relinquish everything to the family. And I say that we didn't relinquish everything to the family. We actually failed in our duty. And I will put it in this way, by asking a question. And the question is, do you remember there was an open playground for the public to actually play a vital role in justice for Mohbad? And the open playground that was given by the family of the father through their what is his name? Their representative gave a level playground. And you remember that there was a group called management group, and there was a group called structure group. Do you remember there was a failure of reconciliation and working together and merger between the structure group and the management group? You see, do you remember, Mr. Jack?
Comrade, first of all,
Do you remember? Let me finish my question, then you
finish.
over. Do you remember that there was a structure group and a management group? And there was a failure between management group and structure group to actually come together, to work together. And up to tomorrow, I will keep on saying it, that the situation we find ourselves today is as a failure of the structure group and the management group. If they had found a level playing ground to actually harmonize themselves to handle the struggle, we wouldn't have found ourselves in this situation.
Well, Comrade Moses,
Everything would have been able to be managed properly, but they failed
Comrade Moses,
to harmonize and work together.
I have a question for you if you can hear me. I have a question.
Okay, sir.
Now,
Okay, sir.
I can understand your take on the fact that behind the scenes, you guys have all the steering group, which obviously is not known to us on the outside. The only thing that we have to hang on to will be whatever everybody is are saying on respective platforms, and everything comes in drips and drabs. So we don't know what's going on in the background. I think it was later in the whole process when we got to about 12, 13. I think when we got to 13 to 15 months, a lot came out about Bossman and various other Yekudi. And when people started falling out and all this kind of stuff, it was then we then have an idea of what's been happening in the back. We did not even believe that a lot was happening in the background. Things would have developed so quickly. So when you bring this to the public, my main question right now is actually that, did you guys actually believe you are judicious in the process of not enlightening the public as well as you should? Because whilst you guys are getting divided and fighting yourself in the background, we are not really getting anything on the forefront, and we are doing our own things on the forefront. Do you think you guys could have handled it differently? And what's the best way you actually thought at the time things should have been done? Maybe you've suggested something, maybe there are people blocking it, but do you actually think you guys could have done it better?
The IT guy, with due respect, that is a very, very great question. I won't call it good, but very great question. You see, number one, I was not part of both group. Neither go and put it in the front. Either the management group or the structural group. I was never part of any one of them. But there are individuals that I believe in their capacity, I believe in their intellectuality, I believe in their experience, I believe in their input. Somebody like Chairman is a respected person, is a professional, is an expert, is a captain of an industry. Such people, I can vouch for them. And when I find such people in a group, I believe so well that they will do their best. Somebody like Country Queen is a very brilliant woman and very intellectual. Finding such woman in a group, even if the composition of the group is not that perfect, we can pinpoint some individuals among them that can go a very far distance. So from my own perspective, I have the impression that if the group was existing, a lot of wrongs will have been rewritten. A lot of errors will
let's go this way. When we take in notes, and you mentioned Crunchy Queen, and then you mentioned Chairman, did those people not come later? Because I know Chairman came a lot later. When did Crunch Queen? Because all this thing is more like putting a process in place where there's accountability, where there is more like an assessment of what's going in and going out and all that kind of stuff, all the audits that needed to be done. But did Crunch Queen and Chairman not come later? Because I think the time you were talking about earlier did not have Chairman and Crunchy Queen in it.
Well, you see, what I can just say is during our time, I can say categorically that much really does not happen. We have a 10-point agenda in that group then. and the representative of the family, the father, had front and back, disagreement, agreement, and so on and so forth. So the 10-point agenda that we put on ground, they didn't allow it to fly. So if the 10-point agenda had been allowed to fly, then when we were in the group together with them, probably maybe we would have been able to take some decision that could have helped the situation.
Comrade,
You know?
comrade. Yeah,
Okay, sir.
yeah. I'm gonna let me come in there, please. You see,
Let me answer him. Let me finish answering
no,
him.
hold on. So, comrade,
Okay.
make a summary. Okay, go on.
Okay. So the summary is that they really does not allow much to happen in our time. But when people like Chairman and his team came with structure group, and some other people came with a management group, they have some good agenda. And for the fact that the representative of the family actually gave them a card to play, a level playground to participate. Now there are two groups, and the suggestion was the two groups should match together and form a force to address issue. But some people say they cannot work with other
Carry on,
people.
comrade. Carry on.
And from there, the disagreement could not allow the two of them to work together, and the representative of the family came and he disbanded the team. And for me, if anybody keep on asking me the same question every day about justice for Mohbad, I will say that the failure of that group, the failure of these two groups to match together, harmonize together, and agree to work together,
But
constituted
let me interject.
70%. Okay,
Let
sir.
me interject.
Okay.
So can we? I don't want us to agree, and I don't want us to assume. But from your point of view, do you actually believe that this steering group and all this group put in place actually failed the family?
They failed the public, I will say, because for me, they are not responsible.
About the family.
They are not responsible. Well, I won't agree that they failed the family.
But you guys are working.
I will
you guys at the time, you were working closely to Joseph Aloba on one side, working closely with Muiwa, who's got a power of attorney. The public don't know what you guys are doing in the background, so we just tag along and just follow the sensation, follow any story that emerges on different platforms. We were doing our own thing on the outside, and we were depending on you guys. That we did not know that, despite the fact that you guys were engaging with us at the time, you guys were doing. You guys had an underground system. So if you fail the public, then you
let me cite an example for you.
Yes.
Let me cite an example for you. You see, I kept on saying that the family really does not allow us to implement our agenda. I will cite you an example. Susie was part of the people that actually discovered that autopsy was not taken abroad. And when she came and informed the group, the family did not agree with her. So if they didn't agree with her, how can we move ahead forward? I don't know if you are getting my explanation.
Yeah.
So most of the things we actually wanted to do.
Let's try and leave that in there, because I don't want us to kind of I'm still gonna get you and Jack to carry on.
Myself discovered a lot of things that we actually took to the family, but
I definitely want you and Jack to carry on, but let's have the other people that haven't spoken to just go around the table. Then we can come back to that discussion. So let's have Queen Abiki. Queen Abiki, good afternoon. Lovely to have you here as always. Okay, one thing I'd love people to do is to please tap. Let's take this thing to maybe 7.5K and let's share to as many people as possible, maybe 10 people per everyone that is anywhere. Just share it as much as you can. Whoever join. But at the end of it, let's just have fun. Let's kind of be informative and engaging within this session. So Queen Abiki, let's have you. Please tap. Let's take it to 7.5K and share to as many people as possible. Thank you. Queen Abiki, let's have you.
Okay, just a sec. Okay. Hey, everyone. Good afternoon. Okay, let me start from here. I think that I'm not going to look at the financial aspect, but I'm going to say this. I think the problem we are having here is the fact that when people came in, right, to look for justice for Mohbad, they came in with their preconceived notions and ideas about what might have happened or what took place. There was like no open-mindedness to it or objectivity in this quest to look for justice for Mohbad. Secondly, it looks like most people are having problems to gravitate or understand where we are today because most of them came in not only invested their financial capital, but also like relinquished their emotional and psychological capitals as well. And because of those preconceived notions, people are having hard time to grasp where we are today. And that's the problem. Baba Mohbad, whether Baba Mohbad or Wumi, they know exactly what happened to Mohbad. And people come here and say, oh, Wumi is not looking for justice for her husband. The justice that she's looking for her husband is not what Baba Mohbad is looking at. They know what happened. Unfortunately, whether you want to accept this or not is the fact, and nothing is going to change about it. This is the information we have. The information we have with concrete evidence that we can look onto is the fact that he died from medical negligence. Any other things are just notions and assumptions, because if you cannot come up with tangible evidence or concrete evidence to back your notions, then you are just saying whatever you want to say, and you have right to it. They are not facts. They cannot stand in the court of law. Baba Mohbad know what happened to Mohbad. Wumi know what happened to Mohbad. And as clearly we can see that the path that Wumi said, this is what happened, that's the only evidence we have at hand. And whatever Baba Mohbad said happens to Mohbad, we don't have any evidence to stand on. So people are having problem because they are grieving. It's a grief. They are grieving. They are notion. When you came in this, if you came in plainly, whatever comes up or whatever leads we have, you will follow that path. But because you came in with all your own ideas and preconceived notion, you can't phantom and you can't accept the results that are available. You were not there when it happened. Someone lied that something else happened to Mohbad, and they cannot provide us with the evidence. And I thought as intellectual people, at least we could work with what we have, with the evidence we have at hand, instead of drumming or whataboutism and notions and assumptions. I don't get what is going on. I don't know.
So very, very quickly, Queen Abeki, where did we fail as a public, as people? Where did it go wrong? Because I can understand your neutrality on the aspect of, let's ask Wumi and let's ask Mr. Joseph Aloba. Those are the key primary protector that you look in this whole process that we believe should be looking for justice by all means. Where did we, the public, actually fail ourselves?
The public went wrong by not being objective. That's where they went wrong. If you were objective in your quest for justice, you are open-minded open-minded in your quest for justice. I don't care whatever it is, you will stand with the truth. But if you say, okay, look, I'm always saying this. I support Wumi because I still think she's been accused wrongly, or I think she's being bullied for no reason. But if today there is an evidence that shows up, concrete one, that links her to anything close to what might have happened to Mohbad, then I promise you, I'm not here to support any murderer. I'll do what is right as a citizen and support the right thing. But right now, you don't have anything.
So should we carry on believing that she's still being victimized?
Yes, she's being victimized.
Okay, if you look at it, she's been victimized on one side. She's been protected on the other because she has her own protectors. Everybody will have to make a step in their lives to move on, no matter how long the grieving process actually takes. Baba clearly is moved on. Everybody else is moved on. So rightfully so, she moves on and all that kind of stuff. But it appears as if now Baba himself is exposed. She is still being very protected, rightfully so. Because, well, someone need to advocate on her behalf. There will be lawyers and there will be loyal protectors and all that kind of stuff. Should we still be banging on about victimization?
Yes, we should. When the victimization stops, the protection will automatically stop. People have things to do with their lives. If you see in my mentions, I barely mention her lately. But if I see lately, we saw, there are some bloggers on the Baba side. You will never find Wumi bloggers who will really go into Baba, or maybe once a while they have issue with what he says and they'll come and correct it and sometimes, lay into him, which I get it. But people on the other side, they go as far as protecting Wumi. Is not much more like protecting Wumi rather than that Liam. People will put Liam's picture. Adults, grown adults, will sit down. It happened lately, a week or two ago.
Okay, so we spoke about Yomi Fabi earlier. I did mention him and the way he's parading his son. And obviously, for me, from my point of view, as a father, I definitely would not expose my child as much as he does. Police station, raising money, birthdays, and all this kind of stuff. And he should be wiser than that, knowing that the likes of Comfy can be on your side today. You can be on the wrong side of them when they wake up tomorrow morning. And then, it's not the same Yomi that is being supported. And then if the opportunity is there, will be time to drag that child and all that kind of stuff. Do you not actually believe that is the mother of the child that is actually overexposed the child?
No, it's like you telling me that because what you call it. Let me come this way. What can I use as an example? So when a pedophile, are you trying to excuse a pedophile right now? Because a pedophile can literally tell me that, okay, because that child is exposed, I did what I did because that child was wearing a skimpy clothes. Is that an excuse?
I'm coming from the point of view of having experienced the way Comfy dragged the child for the period of time she did. I'm sure
those are let's keep this straight.
I'm coming from that point of view.
I get it, and
I think that as a child develops, there is sort of like an update on the side of the perpetrators to get an up-to-date picture of the child. So if they have a reason to drag the mother and the child, they have an up-to-date picture. And I kind of think that there's an overexposure there, but you may not see it that way.
I don't see that. It's like being saying that children are a pet. It makes no sense. If she decides she wanna, if not because of what happened, she can. Just because of what happened, you mean her life should stop? stop. The child's life, that's how they live their life, should stop. You, the adult, you are psychotic for going after a little child because you see him or you think the child is too exposed.
No,
Only time, man.
I think we all manage it differently because, as you know, with experiences that people have encountered over the last almost 2 years, up to 19, 20 months now, people, a lot of people have taken their accounts into private. They've taken out personal pictures of their children and their family. Of course, we know in the hands of Comfy and a comrade, a lot of atrocious dragging has actually happened, which is not needed. I know the whole thing is subsided now, but you only need to trigger the Baba supporters, and before you know what's going on, they're doing exactly the same. And I think that when Comfy herself actually get on the receiving end, by the time she got her daughter across to Germany, a young female, it was then she was given a taste of her own medicine. And I think she's mellowed down a bit from that perspective. But yeah, so give us a summary, and then we can go to aristocrats, and then we go back to Jack again. Actually, Escapade is here. So yeah, give us a summary, and let's move over to aristocrat, please.
Okay, all I'm going to say is this, and a lot of people will not agree, but it's the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God, and nothing is going to change. No one killed the Mohbad. He died of medical negligence. Baba Mohbad lied to you. You're not going to find any other way. The only justice Mohbad can get, and if you truly love Mohbad, is the fact that he was bullied. That Sam Larry needs to be checked. I don't know about Naira Marley. It can be looked into. But the evidence that we have at hand and what we see in the public is that Sam Larry truly bullied Mohbad, right? And we can look into that. But no one, as at hand, as we speak, with the information we have, you may not like it. Wunmi has nothing to do with the death of her husband unless you have something to clear that up and show me. People should be sick of assumptions and all these narratives, and stupid narrative that make people look stupid and foolish. You have invested enough financial or psychological, emotional capital in this. And it's time for you to accept reality. People are not living. You are grieving. Move on to the next stage of your grief, right? And start questioning things instead of staying right there and and not accepting what you see. The train has moved. There's nothing out there. If anybody tells you that, you can have Buki to come and tell you, Mumbo, Emile, Lowo, na lie. There's nothing there. But your money is not money. You can do whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, this is the justice. He died out of medical negligence. Whether you want to accept that or not, that's the fact. That's what we have at hand. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my wonderful lady. You're supreme in your submission. Just kind of love engaging with everybody, including yourself. You've done it again. Well done. Thank you for that. So, Mr. Aristocrat, the supreme Iron Man, let's have you. The gentries of all the gentries. Let's have you, Mr. Aristocrat. Good afternoon, good evening to you.
So,
All right, let's have you.
I actually wanted to, add my voice to the discussion I met when Comrade Mose was talking. And I'm going to be short today, but this is what I will just say. You see, in this case of justice for Mohbad, it is always easy for people to come
try and reduce your aristocrat. Try and reduce your echo. There's a bit of echo in your background.
All right. It's always easy when, as Nigerians, they will say, what is wrong with Nigeria? It's leadership. It's leadership. Nigerian leadership. The same thing is what reflected in this cause for justice for Mohbad. Number two, before I expatiate, Nigerians or Africans, or I would say human being, because I know it happens in Asian countries and Latin countries as well. Rather for us to seek facts, we seek truth that is discolored and sentimentally laced by individuals, and we take it and we run with it. And that is what's reflected in what we see also in justice for Mohbad. Because more often than not, people are ruled by their sentiments. Also, in this case of justice for Mohbad, even when some people have realized the truth, shame will not allow them to accept the truth. Therefore, they continue to wallow in that thick bush where it will lead them to gallows. And that is still the case of justice for Mohbad. So for me, as a social person, I learned from every gathering. And most of the things, I've learned so much in justice for Mohbad. It is not about meeting people, but it is about solidifying my knowledge, my perception with regards to how human beings handle matters. Even the one that has to do with death, the way they handle it. And at the end of the day, they want something miraculous to happen. Just the way we are in Africa. We allow our religious affinity to take priority than what we can do with our minds, our thinking, and our ability to change. Rather for people to go and work, rather for people to begin to provide solution, they would rather go to church, mosque gathering, or babalawo to be saying, pray to God to show me the way. God have shown you the way. And they continue to get hungrier and hungrier by day. Why those who see little will now come and control them? And that has itself shown injustice for Mohbad. Lastly, what has also shown injustice for Mohbad has shown that we have larger percentage of mediocrats. I like what Queen Abeke, I didn't see the name full, what she said when she said we are knowledgeable people. Madam, we have less knowledgeable people because common sense is never common. Oyinbo call it common. They ought to call it real sense. Common sense is never common. We only commonize it. And it is things that are commonized by human beings that they refuse to make use of. And those things will become their lords and savior. And that is the whole thing on this. It is not a rocket science. It is what happens every day. And I will end on this note. If you want to learn how not to fight for justice, do a case study of activities of justice for Mohbad, and you will do better in future. I rest for now. Thank you very much, host.
Yeah, I got distracted a bit. You've got the first clap, and we do the best we can to recognize everyone. So let's go over to Excapit, please. Excapit, let's have you.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I didn't know it was going to be that soon. I was expecting, I think he just probably gave a preamble. I was expecting Aritola to go in his usual manner of like,
no, he's
he just gave. I think he's doing number 2. I think he's in a room. He's doing number 2.
No. I'm like, he's decided to go for leadership. Tailored back to Comrade Moses' submission. And I think it's actually useful because obviously I engaged with him. Jack did engage with him, but on a different note because he just went for Jack, not on an attack basis, but some of Jack's opening comments and all that kind of stuff. So we are where we are, and it's an open forum. People just, we know what we're talking about. But if we go around the table and then we carry on discussion, please, people, let's take it to 7.5K. Tap and share. So yes, Excavate, let's have you, sir.
Okay, so I mean, I like what aristocrats have said. I missed Jack's submission. Kunabiki did a good job, but I want to take us back to the beginning, or sort of look at things from the start. This public, I heard these things, and every time I hear it, it sort of like gives me it raises like a migraine in my head once I heard for so long. This word public. The word public is in a glorified sense, the way it's being used. First thing people need to accept is we were Team Baba. Let us leave all this public. That's why I would have wanted Comrade Moses to be here. You call yourself public, you orchestrated and was actively a part of the people that bailed the people that the government called suspects.